Where are my fake nails and my alcohol?
Hey, everybody, welcome back, or welcome in if you're new. Make yourself at home. My place is your place. We are, thank God, Amber. I'm not saying Amber's over because that's not my call to make, but she's very quiet lately, and I can finally start catching up on Quirky Love Rosie content. There has been so much, and I'm so far behind. So I appreciate y'all's patience. I just there's so much to go over. So I just wanted to start. I'm not starting at the beginning. I'm going to go back to um, this recent live where she got real mad at us. So we all have to sit down and take our punishments. People were sending dominoes to her house, and now we all have to suffer now about it. Just a couple of quick notes. I have her at 1.25 because she is, I think, just intentionally taking, and I cut out as many pauses as I can because no one's got that kind of time. She also files her nails at one point right next to the microphone, which, like, when I'm going through that, when I'm having my nails filed or doing it myself, it makes my skeleton want to leave my body. I don't know how I would never subject other people to that, but you know what? It makes her feel pretty. So whatever. I also get very mad at a certain point in this video, so just fair warning about that. But as we jump into this, feel free to like and subscribe. For every like, I will apply a fake nail to my fingers. For every sub, I will apply a fake nail to my biscuits and gravy.
This is an out of hand kind of day. Anyway, um, yeah, I've just been dealing with like a lot of being picked at and people just being obnoxious and being overly critical of shit that just doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when it comes to non-member content, there's no fee for it. I'm making it for it to be viewed for free. So I do not understand people's entitlement to my time, people's entitlement to knowing exactly why I have to mitigate different aspects of my schedule and my life to accommodate for the very long list of shit that I deal with that I try to be better about managing without chronically talking about it every 2 seconds. And I still kind of do that anyway because there's just so many different things happening sometimes that it's impossible not to.
So I just want to say this is it's kind of a nitpicky point, may not even need to be said, but no one is entitled to your time. No one is entitled to give feedback and then see that feedback immediately, um, enacted. I think I need to also maybe remind you that you are not entitled to positive reinforcement. You are not entitled to people reacting positively only to your content. Um, you receive the feedback that you receive because that's how it is, unfortunately. And I feel like a lot of the tears come from this is unfair, and the reality is you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. At this point, I mean, you could throw a fit and monetize it if you want, but you're not entitled to people's you're not entitled to everyone's goodwill. And just because you're putting something out for free on the internet doesn't mean that it can't be criticized. Everybody gets criticism. Everybody gets criticism.
But I am in a place right now where I'm trying to be better while people are terrorizing me with my past by being just fucking cruel. It is just cruel.
So here's a tiny point that I need to make is that you wanting to be better, when I say you, I mean Rosie, you wanting and trying to be better and changing yourself for the better. That is why so many of us joined you at the beginning. That's why so many of us want to be on this journey with you at the beginning, is because we thought you were changing, that you were making your life better. But all we see now is that your life is exactly where it was 2 years ago. You weigh the same amount, you're wearing the same clothes, you are unemployed, you're sitting in a messy house, making gigantic amounts of food and doing doing Fifi content. You're doing Fifi content. You are still doing that. So you're not making yourself better in that respect, right? The only thing that has changed is you're dating someone who is into you. And the other thing that I want to say is, like, yes, people are starting to unearth old, like your older adult content, which is which I'm sure it sucks for you. I'm sure it's embarrassing that people are critical of it, and I don't want to see it, and I'm not going to share it. I'm not interested in it. I know, like, intellectually that it happened. I don't need any more information than that, right? But like, everyone who has ever done that kind of content has to deal with it coming back to them later in life when they have changed. So that's not a you thing. It's something that you need to maybe reach out to mentors or like talk to your therapist about, to deal with having these things come back into your life. That's not an us thing. It's a you thing.
And I'm not crying to manipulate you. I'm just tired. My brother could have gotten hurt yesterday, and it's not my fault. My family doesn't blame me, so I don't know why strangers are doing that.
So your brother could have gotten hurt, but the most important thing you can think of is that it's not your fault. That's the most important sentiment you can come up with right now. That was your follow-up to my brother could have gotten hurt. I'm just going to let that sit.
I want to heal and grow. And I made a lot of changes in how I act. I can't undo what I've done. And really, in the scheme of life, most of the things that I get ripped apart for are just not even a fraction as close to the shit that like gets done to me for being a parasocial weirdo who does this or that or whatever the fuck I did to deserve this in some of these people's eyes.
So the quirky, creepy crew who she has dubbed like the mafia that is against her, they are the people who think that she deserves to be harassed at home. The 99% of the people who cover her and follow her and watch, watch stuff on her, we do not think that this is okay, and we do not think that this is necessary in order to make her interesting, right? But the other thing is, like, she's also like, she is so deeply involved in her feedback, and she definitely watches reactors, and she definitely like has her eyes on everything and has so much feedback about why it is that people cover her, why people criticize her, and she never addresses any of it. Like, she very, very specifically does Fifi content. She very, very much like squeezes her audience for money using like her sadness and her sympathy. Like, those are very valid criticisms. And then on top of that, she's very like, they're also like very fun, like nitpicky things. So like, there's a lot of reasons for people to cover her that she completely just, it's disingenuous for her to think that like, because that everyone is like coming after her because she said something mean about Zachary Michael a year ago or 2 years ago, right? It's so disingenuous for her to like talk to her like regular audience and be like, people are just really mean to me because I said something mean about Zachary Michael a year ago. P.S. I have a dono goal on this if you guys want to see me do this, but in a pool. Like, it's disingenuous, and and it just shows that she says she's learning and growing. She's not. She's not learning. She's not growing. She's still doing theater comment.
And I have reached the point where I'm just going to be transparent and honest about how I feel. Because these past 6 months, I have been slowly rebuilding myself back up and coming to the realization that when I started getting inundated with the hate about being undiagnosed autistic, when that first started, and I realized how sensitive of a topic it was, and I realized how I did not think through making that initial video could be misconstrued, when I didn't think about how people aren't going to take into account the nuance of like the American healthcare system and aspects of class and all this shit, right? And just people's access to resources and all of that. And I just didn't take into account how sensitive of a subject it would be for me. So
I will not be the first, nor will I be the last, to just let y'all know that Rosie did go to a professional at seeking an autism diagnosis, and did not receive that diagnosis from that professional who in their professional opinion said she could not diagnose her with autism. And Roz did have a breakdown about that. She crashed out by being told that she did not have autism. And I just need to, I also will not be the first nor the last person to point out that, like, whenever any of her decisions from her past, any feedback comes to her for things that she has done and choices she has made, it can be she blames it on an autism diagnosis, psychosis, or trauma. And if her actions do not align in any way with uh, the way that an autistic person would act, she blames that on masking. So she's got everything kind of tied up. She will never not be a vulnerable human in any way. Whenever it comes to taking accountability for anything, she will wrap it up and find some way to make herself a victim or a vulnerable person, rather than a human being who has made active choices, rather than a full-grown adult who has made choices.
To just be rid of myself of these leeches that won't leave me alone. I have been trying to figure out how to not give it attention, not bring attention to it, but every time I do that is how it keeps escalating. It keeps escalating until they get what they want. I don't have the resources I need to do what I need to do right now.
So in case you didn't hear, earlier when she was trying to get an autism diagnosis, she isn't of the right class to receive the diagnosis she needs. She doesn't have enough money, and she doesn't currently have the resources to do what she needs to do right now. Chat. She doesn't have the money or the resources to do what she needs to do right now. She's crying very hard. She's very upset. She's very tired. And she doesn't have the resources to do what she needs to do right now. Wink. Wink.
Mods, please handle infighting 24-hour bans. I'm not playing with this shit today. Nope, we're not doing it. I mean, if people can't fucking act right, 24-hour ban, then come back next time. I'm not playing with that. I don't even know what's going on in the chat. People acting disrespectful, 24-hour ban, automatic. I'm not doing that. Just avoid outright blocking.
So what's happening in the comments is Queef Panther saying, but you are diagnosed. You found out and diagnosed yourself. And Whimsy saying, Queef, you can't diagnose yourself. You need to seek professional advice for things. And the other infighting involving someone just saying Whimsy is right. There's a reason people study for years to be able to diagnose people. And I think this has got to be part of why she's so sensitive and why feedback is so detrimental to her health, is people just having a difference of opinion is fighting. That's fighting. That's anger. That's cruelty. Is someone just fucking disagreeing with you? And if Queef Panther isn't a troll, I'm going to be shocked. Because Queef Panther is like, Remy, please ban these abusers. I would ban them right now. The quote-unquote abusers in the comment section are like people who are like, your doctor said you weren't autistic, and you're claiming that you're autistic, and that somehow you just didn't have the money to pay for someone to tell you you're autistic. Those are the abusers. Now, there may be, obviously, like, as I say, there may have been people who, things that have been deleted that I don't have access to anymore. But still, just like people calling you out on your shit or giving you shitty feedback or just being like pieces of shit, those aren't abusers. They're trolls. Like, just move on.
Honestly, I was pretty okay mentally until I found out about what happened with my brother. It's funny because, well, it's not funny even a little bit, but when I was in Texas, and I shared with you guys that someone called a wellness check here at my house when my brother was here. And thankfully it was without incident and everything was fine. But when I expressed my fear about that, there's stuff about my family, our dynamics, my brother that, like, I don't talk about online, and it's going to stay that way. But when I was expressing that concern, I had valid reasons for that. And I was so angry about people saying, like, oh, like Levi handled it like a champ. You would have made it so much worse if you were there. Blaming me for it, saying this is all a big conspiracy for me to make up all this drama to get Remy to stay with me, and like just these crazy nonsensical theories. Thank you so much, Lauren. If there was any other super chats, let me just go real quick.
So I just want to parse that really quickly. Her implication is that Levi is maybe not as high functioning as we think he is, and that's where I'm going to leave it. I have no right to that information, so that's fine. End of story. Uh, the other point from there is that she is very, very angry that people criticized her reaction to it because we didn't have all of the information, or because people like to speculate and talk. People talked a bunch of shit about it, and she was really angry about it. That's what she was angry about, is how people reacted to her. End of sentiment. Let's look at chat. And New Name just had a very good point. Your brother needs a safety plan that is easily understood and followed. RE, unknown people at the door. That should just in general be something that should have been taken care of decades ago.
In case I haven't made it abundantly clear, 20 times over, my public lives are not a guarantee. I do not have a live schedule. I go live if and when I can. I am chronically ill and disabled. I have a multitude of things that can happen at any given notice that could make me need to reschedule or cancel. If I miss members only lives for similar reasons, they will be made up. They may get canceled sometimes. If that pisses you off, I beg you to unsubscribe from me because I don't want to hear about it. This isn't an airport. Don't announce your departure. I wish you well.
So for those of us who've been around for Rosie, we've been watching her for years. We've all noticed that her audience and her regular audience, the turnover is incredible. There are so many people who become regulars in her chat and are supporters, and they disappear, and then new people arrive and they disappear, and it's just like it churns. The turnover is incredible because she cannot stand feedback of any kind that isn't kissing her ass. I would love for her to handle, just even for one single second, handle negative feedback in a way that's like, hey, you know what? I hear what you're talking about. I understand that that's frustrating. Here are some reasons why that can't happen, or here, let me do that better in the future. She cannot.
Tonight, someone tried to gain entry into our home with a covered up people and used a tactic that was referenced in something I shared in a prior stream. My brother entered the living room as the police were at our door with his crowbar he keeps for protection in hand. My mom is here and he wanted to protect her. Thank God my mom saw him before she opened the door to the police after listening on our porch. When I talked about fearing for my brother regarding the wellness check that happened while I was in Texas, that is exactly what I meant. My brother is diagnosed autistic.
So this is, and I appreciate that, like, maybe writing isn't her strong suit, but she wrote this long ass essay about all the things that happened, and all I need are bullet points, man. It's so confusing. I don't understand what happened. She's connecting everything to everything else, where it's like some people sent stuff to her house. Someone tried to gain entry. There's a big difference between someone sending you an unpaid pizza and someone trying to break into your fucking house. Can we get some details on these things, please? Like, someone sent something to my house after doing that. And it's like, what? Which happened first? When did you call the police? Did you call the police about the pizzas, or did you call them about someone trying to get into the house? What the fuck is a covered peephole? What are you talking about? Like, I've read it, and I've heard other people read it, and now she's reading it, and I don't understand what happened. Like, this is I would just love, and this is honestly not a criticism of her reaction. It's not a criticism of anything other than just like, she really needs to understand like what is important to say and what we can sort of set aside for a minute. You don't need to like include every single detail of every single thing that has ever happened. Just like let's just start with the what's and then add the who's, and then the why's we can talk about later.
You're supporting abusive behavior that you deem okay only because you were blinded by your parasocial hate for me. they parentheses the QCC, which is a different section from your run-of-the-mill reactor / hater, and parentheses. So in several streams pretending to be my boyfriend's family members in my chat. Then they would go online and claim it was my fault for allowing his family to be in my chat when it had already been agreed upon prior that none of his family would be openly engaging on my content because of these freaks. We instantly blocked these accounts, these fake troll accounts, because I said shit to a reaction channel 2 to 3 years ago during a phase of psychosis, something I never should have said. They tried to psychologically manipulate and minimize for entertainment. But they weaponize my silence, they weaponize my words. It doesn't matter what I do, it's really with my boyfriend. For us clearly only being friend vibes, since he doesn't want to touch me based on one shoulder touch. For daring to be disabled by the things that disable me, for allowing myself to slow down and go slower. And my God,
Yeah, the things that disable her, let's please keep in mind that it is not her weight that disables her. It is fill in the blank. She's never very clear about it. She's never very clear about why she can't stand up to cook in her kitchen. She's just quote unquote disabled, and don't worry about it and do not ask. No one deserves that information. And how much slower are we going here? Rosie Lynn Reed, how much slower are you going, honey? Look at you go back there. How much slower do you need? How genuinely, listen, I consider myself a lazy person. I don't understand how much more time you need. It's not good for you to slow down. You need to, maybe, I don't know, maybe change things up and go a little faster.
That's awesome, Lauren. I'm looking forward to hopefully in a couple months getting some more press-on nails. Or I think I also was debating on investing in a P.O. box.
Just to connect these dots really quickly, someone in the chat said, I just did my nails yesterday, and she was like, awesome. I want to get more nails. And I want to get a post office box so people can send me nails and send me more things. She immediately goes to people giving her shit. Not giving her shit, giving her shit. Giving her more belongings. Treats. She just wants treats.
Whimsy, I have about 11 vlogs worth of content. If I did it all in 2 separate big vlogs, each vlog would be like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm doing it how I want to do it. And I'm not even just speaking specifically to you, but the way people have been treating me about the editing shit has really been pissing me off.
Yeah, Whimsy, how dare you? How dare you make a suggestion about something that might make my life a little easier and go by a little smoother while I sit here and cry? How dare you? You take your feedback and your suggestions and you stuff them back up there.
Demeanor, but hi, Roxy. I'm gonna try to go live early next week, but I'll keep you posted on if that happens. I've just become a more private person, and I am working on over-explaining less, and I'm working on oversharing less. I'm still gonna overshare because, hi, welcome to me. I'm Rosie. Nice to meet you. But I'm trying to improve on it. And I'm the kind of person where I cannot expect like overnight changes and results. But over time, I can get pretty good because I'm pretty persistent at getting what I want. And I want to do and be better. So in the face of no matter what tries to challenge me, like that's where I'm at in my life right now. In the face of no matter what tries to challenge me, like that's where I'm at in my life right now. Not who I was when I was acting messy and doing bullshit and being petty and taking part in toxic internet cultures that I had no business inserting myself in. But me today, that's what I'm doing. So. Oh, okay. I was like, the fuck? Okay. Hey, Mama Ann. Yeah, it's definitely getting hot. Guys, I have another very positive update. I'm very excited. It was actually related to I threw on a goal on this live because I happened to throw in a goal on the live prior to this one, so I just did the same one on. Because I had my first swim of the year in the middle of the night. It was amazing. It was spectacular. It was glorious. It was beautiful. It was spectacular. It was whimsical. It's the best time of my life. No, but really. And so, it's a little too cold, but not cold enough to knock it in the pool. So I was like, if we hit the goal, my next live will be a pool one. I'll do a pool live eventually, but because I'll have to.
Yeah, just keep reading chat and checking and waiting for somebody to send you some money. She did get one blue goal from Amanda, the person who sent her a bunch of money to go eat at Texas Roadhouse. So yeah, so if that person who sent her money to eat wants to see her in a bathing suit, just 14 more $5 donos.
I've just been focusing on finding the garage, organizing the shelf, and I'm going to take a picture of that organized shelf so you can see where I would like for you to return. Oh, that would genuinely help me. Can we print it too and hang it up? That's new. I'm not even joking. That would actually help me remember where shit's supposed to go. Yeah, don't keep me from grinding my teeth out too. And also, Levi's the one that does unload the majority of like the dishwasher stuff. Okay. So sometimes that's why when I go out there, I'm overwhelmed because it's God bless him, it's a clusterfuck.
Fuck you, Rosie. Fuck you, Rosie. She can never take accountability for fucking anything. Leaving something a mess. She can't even take accountability for leaving something a mess. She's got to throw it on Levi. That's so fucking annoying, man. The dude works full time. Your ass is sat in the kitchen. No one can get around you. You do nothing all day. You do nothing but eat and take naps. And when things are a mess and it's your domain, take accountability for it. She also blamed the fucking Instant Pot on him, which I cannot prove, but can guarantee she just left some shit in there for a week and it got moldy and gross and she chucked it because she didn't want to clean it. That's what happened to the Instant Pot. That is the end. That's the true epilogue of the goddamn Instant Pot drama.
Line dancing in the rows between the tables, so that was a new experience today. Ooh, smell that. Oh, okay. That's almost vanilla-y, kind of. Oh, it's so good. Whoa. Oh, man. Pear is such a mild. I've never had a brown Asian pear before.
Just in case you were wondering if this was going to be one of those lives where she doesn't eat and chew with her mouth open and slobber and moan and be in shock about the flavor of things and show the camera what the food is, rest assured, fear no more. So Neato Goblin says, the comments on your latest post have me fuming. I'm so sorry you're being used as a punching bag by people who just want dopamine from being hateful.
Thank you so much, Neato Goblin. Honestly, I haven't really looked at them because
just tuning up the fiddle.
I've been working very hard to not end up back in the mental hospital. So I can't afford it. Anyway.
Whatever. Oh my fucking god. This is where I start to lose my marbles a little bit, okay? If reading negative comments about the shit you put on the internet is bad enough to put you back to be hospitalized for your mental health, get the fuck off the internet now. If whatever happens at this point now is then it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility. If you already know that people speaking negatively and like ribbing you about your onion fight, like if that's enough to put you into a hospitalize you, then what the choices you make going forward are your own, right? And just sliding at the end, I just don't have enough money to go back to the mental hospital. I don't have enough money. But whatever. I'm losing it. I almost stepped away from covering Roz because I was like, I kind of upset that people were like messing with a person, not her, but a person, that people were like sending shit to her and like messing with her family. Like that's fucked up. But then she does shit like this and I'm like, come on.
So I have to see how I really like it at first, and also maybe give her a chance to look at my face for a little bit with it not being real, just to see what I experience. Snacking in our front door again. What? You're joking? No, that's a joke. Please tell me you're joking. Oh my God, tell me you're joking. What's that? Didn't order any Domino's. All right. I got it, Mom. Oh, is it? Okay. Thank you. That's it? All right, cool. Anyway. Yeah. Mom, grab your phone.
We didn't order any Domino's. Problem solved. Like, I'm not saying it's not invasive. I'm not saying it's not annoying. I'm not saying that it doesn't, that you're not going to like take this personally, that you're kind of, that people are coming to your house. It is obnoxious, no doubt. But the amount of like the way that she is, the histrionics involved in it, and that someone coming to your house with a pizza and you being like, no thanks, versus your brother with a crowbar versus the police at your door, which we never really understood or got any clear story on. It again, it's just like anything with Roz, everything is the same level. It's all the same thing. You know, some like saying no thank you to a pizza versus the police at your house. It's all the same level of trauma for her.
Thank you, Mountain Bike. I don't have an Amazon wish list or anything, and given the situation, if you want to, I have like the Cash App and all that stuff if you want to send the like amount for it, because we're working on that already, but you're not obligated to have to help while we're working on all of that right now.
Someone in her chat offered to make a purchase for her that would make her home a little bit more safe. And those things are in play. Those things are in motion, I guess, and should have been in place months ago. Like months ago. Up to a year ago, those things should have been in place. But you know, if you want to just give her, if you just want to give her some money, Mountain Bike, we're still 14 light blue super chats away from a pool live. So you know, there are many ways to help.
Oh, and Amanda, I had a wonderful meal. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. There was so much food that I think I have 2 more meals. And I haven't been to Texas Roadhouse in decades. And I got the pulled pork meal. And my husband and I are big fans of Sonny's barbecue, but I gotta tell you, they gave them a run for their money. And
that's a big compliment coming from you.
And I think
it was behind me, because I only eat about half my food. I always get the country fried steak, like that's my go-to order there. But and that was thanks to Amanda, by the way, because she randomly super chatted for that a little bit ago. I don't remember how long ago now, but yeah, of course you have to get the rolls and cinnamon butter, right? Yeah, Texas Roadhouse is great.
Yeah, so just so you know, if you ever want Roz to have a great big steak meal and then come home and talk about it, or show you her leftovers, or I mean, she didn't show any leftovers, so who knows, and talk about what she got, talk about how good it is. If that's something that interests you, you can do that. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. Don't do that. Don't see someone who is struggling to breathe and struggling to stand. Don't send them money to fucking eat at Texas Roadhouse. What is actually wrong with you? What is genuinely wrong with you that you're doing that? You're not a fan. You don't love this person. You don't care about this person. You want her to stay sick and get sicker. That's what you want. That's what you want. Like, if people are actual fans and they want to send her things to make her house more secure because they're worried about her, like, whatever. That's none of my business. Do whatever you want with your money. Anybody can do whatever they want with your money. But this person, you do not have this person's best interest in mind. It's crazy to think that I care more about Rosie's body and how she lives and her future than the people she considers fans and friends.
I want no part of Go World. And I can't control other people's actions, but I really want to make it very clear that having me, like saying that I want it, that I want this, that I begged for this, that's really giving a certain kind of energy that I think is revolting and disgusting. So, I never asked for any of this.
You want to know? You want to talk about you want to talk about revolting and disgusting? Rosalind, do you want to talk about revolting and disgusting? Is you coming to Girl World and spending months in Reactors chats and in Reactors DMs, trying to get attention on you, trying to be part of it, trying to take over, trying to get the attention that Amber has, saying that you got more smoke than Amber, that you're better than Amber, wanting attention, finally getting that attention, saying you don't want it anymore, still having the attention on you, and then comparing that to SA. Fuck you from the bottom of my soul, from my ancestors. Fuck you. Fuck you for comparing that.
Last part.
Kid, that's like how you're making your paycheck and shit. I didn't consent to that, Amber. I didn't consent to this.
It is well documented that you did ask for this kind of attention. You may not want it anymore, but equating getting negative feedback and not wanting that kind of attention anymore, equating that to rescinding consent in an intimate situation is fucking gross. A commenter said, really interesting for you to say something is giving a certain kind of energy when you openly dated and defended someone with SA accusations. Very interesting. Another comment on the live. Hey Rosie, I'm new to your channel. I'm curious about the process of these things that have been happening. It seems like someone calls the cops and or a delivery to your place. You get upset on the internet. The trolls get the satisfaction, then do it again. I think if you stop reacting to it or even mentioning it in any way, it would stop because they aren't getting the reaction they want. If you feed the trolls, the drama grows. You can be doing things behind the scenes, talking to support people, therapists, family, friends, but when you make it public, it makes them do it more. Now, I don't think that you can control trolls by ignoring them. I think that people will troll no matter what. I think it will lessen for sure. And I also think a lot of this can be taken to your therapist. A lot of this can be taken to your journal. A lot of this can be spent talking to your family, and you should be apologizing to them deeply. But the thing is if she doesn't bring it to the internet, then she can't monetize it. She can't monetize it, and she can't weaponize it. So, she can't put a goal on it. Oh, there was a goal on my last one, so I'll just put it on this one. And then I can capitalize off of my trauma. And here she is in ZM's DMs, talking about how she walked away from the fetishists in her Fifi community, that she just couldn't get herself to understand that she needed to walk away forever. She can be successful without fetishizing her trauma. Are you going to start? Have you started on that? Where are we at on that? And just a few more comments on the live. If you were so worried about your brother and the police, why didn't you tell him, hey, Levi, police are about to come to our house to take a report on what happened. Maybe you should go to your room. Then he'd at least know what was happening and wouldn't have gone to the door defensively with a crowbar and risk a negative interaction with the police. Like you called the police, you should have and could have given him the heads up. Which I think is it's completely valid. And it's also extraordinarily unclear what the sequence of events were. So she just is like saying Levi and crowbar and police and hoping that we'll sort of understand what's happening and give her the level of sympathy that she wants. She says she wasn't there when it happened. Learn to listen. She absolutely was there. She talked about when it happened when she was in Texas, which is what you're referring to. Maybe you should learn to listen. Her mom and her brother were both there. Where else do you think this 500-pound toddler with no car and no friends would be? And Polly Rocket just cooking down here. Hang on. She's always there, as she has agoraphobia. My favorite comments of all are just the same people just saying, hi, Rosie, and then, what did you eat for dinner since you took the night off cooking, smile. Just over and over and over again. That's all YouTube comments should be. Just delightful repetition of nonsense. I do want to state here that I don't want to minimize like the troll behavior. I do think that it is upsetting, and I think it is scary, and that's not something that I want for her or her family. Whatever criticisms I have for her, I don't think that those are solved or, you know, I don't think that there's anything, I don't think that it's good that she's like feeling these feelings as in a response to that. Like that doesn't make any sense. I don't care for that. I'm against it, and I would like people to stop doing that. I also think that like it's like her being live is like triggering these things to happen. So maybe sticking to vlogs for a while, like sitting down and cooking something and then like recording herself doing that and then uploading it so that maybe, you know, people aren't sending things to her house is like a good solution. If she is too lazy to edit things, or she would rather have super chats, and then if that's like the trade-off for her to then allow like then to trigger troll behavior, then that's a choice that she's making. So whatever. I have a level of sympathy for her. I am extraordinarily angry every time she equates anything in her life that is upsetting to an essay situation. It fucking makes me see red. My hair is on fire whenever she does that. So, and I apologize again to anybody in who is watching this who has been through that. And, like, I understand how, like, it's very frustrating, and I feel for you. Whatever. I talked way too much in this, and I apologize. Thank you so much for listening this far. Big thank you to all of my members for your support. Y'all are the best. If you want to join hibernation, grab a cabin, get under a blanket. We're talking, we're hanging. It's chill. That's going to be all from me. Take care of yourselves. Bye.